Let's go to Tampa now. Champa. Dave Randorf joins us, the voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning, on a very busy day, I'm sure, for him. How you doing, David?
I'm doing great. I got time always for this show, so no problem about that. I was at morning skate and hustled back to be on with you. It's the place is buzzing around here, Rod. Everybody's pretty excited about Game 1.
I can't imagine. Actually, the last time you were with us, I think you were in a hotel. Are you moved out of the hotel?
I am out of the hotel. I'm in a temporary. I'm renting this residence here. It's a guest house of a friend that I've made down here. So I'm finally going to move in. Next time, maybe you'll actually see what my own house, which I took possession of last week. So slowly but surely, I'm getting there.
Okay. Well, listen, Dave, you know how we like to have fun here. And before I get to the actual hockey questions, I asked Clark to pull a photo from your Twitter. So, Clark, can you put that up? Boy. And I want Rambo to explain. How beautiful is that, Dave? When we talk about Champa, can you talk about that photo right there?
Yeah, it was a cool event. MC this, and they had the mayors from Clearwater and St. Petersburg all there with those 4 trophies. And they called it Champions Day. This was back in, I want to say February, I think. And that is Ballast Point, which is in South Tampa, looking back towards downtown. It was a gorgeous morning. And you had the Super Bowl, you had the Vince Lombardi Trophy, you had the Stanley Cup, obviously. You've got the American League Championship Trophy there. And the one that's off to the side, I think on the far right, that was I believe the East Division Championship Trophy for the soccer league that the Tampa Bay Rowdies play in. So when I got here, and everybody was talking about how great it is to be a sports face in the Lightning. They said, hey, don't forget about the Rowdies. So the Rowdies made it to the final last year. They've been around for decades. So that was their GM was there as well. And so the sports fans are living large here right now, for sure.
Well, it's a great time to be there for sure, Dave. Now, here's another one for you. I was listening to NHL radio last week, and you were on. And it was ahead of Game 6 in New York. And you said, it looks like the Lightning are going to the Stanley Cup final. I'm like, Dave, you haven't got that 4th win yet. Were you getting a little nervous Friday night?
Hold on. What did I, hang on. It doesn't sound like something I would say. What did I say exactly, Rod?
Listen, I could go back and pull it. One, you said consistency is a skill. Do you remember saying that? And then another one. I
was talking about Braden Point there.
That's right. You were. Which is on our desk right here, Braden Point every day, Warrior uniform. And then the other one was, I think you said, it looks like the Lightning are going.
Now you think I said.
I'm pretty sure.
Now it's seconds. Dave, you said. I think you said.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So were you getting nervous?
Honestly, I was totally nervous. You know what I will say? It's so fun to care who wins now. Listen, I don't hide from it anymore. I don't work for Hockey Night in Canada anymore. I work for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And it's fun to care who wins and to have that nervous, jittery feeling and the butterflies in the stomach for a Game 7. It was a tremendous game. 2 very good teams went at it. And so I've missed that feeling because for years, I'm very proud of my years in Canada and TSN and Sportsnet and Hockey Night. But there, you don't care who wins. You just want to have a good game and a good show, and you get on the plane the next day and you leave. Here, it's a little different. So it was a lot of fun. And was I nervous? And did I have butterflies? Yeah, I did. And I loved it because we all get in this business because we were sports fans at the start. And then somewhere along the way, you lose that because, that's how the business works. But I've got it back, and I'm loving it. Fun.
Well, I can tell. I can tell that they love you, too, especially hosting those watch parties and so forth. But I had a friend in Florida say to me that the Lightning play a boring style. And I never really thought about it before. And then after I heard that, I can't unsee it. Would you go along with that or not?
Well, your friend probably has been down here for a while and got used to the Lightning being that run and gun team that could light you up and score 6, 7, 8 goals. I mean, the year that they won 62 wins, they were lighting teams up. They've been the highest scoring team in the league up until this year. I want to say 4 years in a row. So they've obviously got a lot of offensive ability, and maybe your friend is rightfully that opinion on how they used to be. But the Lightning made an adjustment a couple of years ago when they got swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets, unceremoniously swept right on the heels of that 62-win season. And they learned some lessons, and they looked at themselves in the mirror and decided we can't just be that run and gun team. We got to learn to play different ways. We have to play defensively. We have to play in tight games, like the Game 7 1-0 win, where their only goal was a shorthander. So they do not win the Stanley Cup last year without molding their game and learning to play a different way. And they're not in this position right now without being able to do that again in the final against a very disciplined and tight Montreal Canadiens team. So I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, has this been kicked around, Rambo, that you're going against an entire country in the Stanley Cup final? Because it's kind of starting to feel that way up here.
As it should. I mean, they're the winners of the North Division. I get that. And the Canadiens fans or people who moved down here certainly get that. Does that resonate with the fan base down here? Probably not. They just think that it's a quality opponent. I don't think anybody's taking the Montreal Canadiens lightly. As relevant to the Florida State fan here. It might, as the season goes on, and maybe as they see what's going on outside the Bell Center, and maybe all the coverage surrounding it, if NBC does tell very well, I know they will on Sportsnet for sure, and on a hockey night, but I certainly get it and respect it. I think it's great. There's a lot of ties between the Montreal Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they're a storied franchise, and they're a great story, and they own it.
Yeah, well, it's funny because last series, because I watch SportsCenter every morning, and your former network, while I'm working out, it was all Habs Golden Knights, Habs Golden Knights, and I loved it, but there was no talk of your series, at all. And I just thought it was funny because it's the Montreal Canadiens, and I just feel like there's people that, other than those that hate the Habs, as you know, Dave, there's a lot of those, but basically they become Canada's team. It's unfortunate, I guess, that you won't be in the booth and traveling for this, because this is going to get wild. Don't you feel it?
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely feel it. I felt it at the rink today. There was a few more media members, obviously, around, not as many as you normally would have at a Stanley Cup final due to COVID restrictions and not being able to travel. But what you just said is kind of what I was saying on the reverse. I get how, TSN and Sportsnet would probably focus on, I mean, God forbid if the Leafs had made it this far, there would be no other discussion about anybody else. It would just be about the Leafs. So I get how the focus has been about the North, the Canadian-based team. It's too bad because the Eastern Conference Final was a hell of a series. It was two very good teams. One game got out of hand, and the Lightning won Game 5, 8-0. But it was a one-off, an anomaly. The rest of the series was fantastic, hard, intense, two great goaltending performances, and the Lightning punched their ticket again and did something that not a lot of teams have done since 2000. They're just the fourth team as the defending Cup champ to make it back to the finals. So they're a good story, and they all know this team is going to change. It's going to look different due to cap reasons and expansion draft reasons. There's going to be some movement, and they all know their time is now. So maybe there'll be a little bit more balanced storytelling in the coverage going forward. But it's going to be a great series. It's both teams have earned their way in, and I don't see it being a short series at all.
Brady in Saskatoon says, go Habs, go. Janelle in Saskatoon says, hi, I hate the Habs. Todd in Regina says, finally found a Price jersey in Edmonton. How about that? Daryl in, I think, Swift Current says, go Tampa Bay. Been cheering for them since they joined the league. John in Winnipeg says, hate is a 4-letter word. No, I know, hate is very strong, but a lot of people do hate the Habs. Let's be honest about it. Dave, Keys, what do you think? What do you think will win it for your Lightning?
Or other team. Keys for the Lightning or keys for the champion?
Well, you obviously think the Lightning are going to win. So what's going to win it for them?
Okay. Well, their depth, I think, serves them very well because it's no secret by now. The Montreal Canadiens and that Phillip Deneau line have shut down and frustrated all the stars on all the opponents that they have faced in each of the 3 rounds to this point. We all know that, and it's been very, very impressive. So that means Deneau's line is going to go up against Kucherov in point, and they're going to have to find a way around that, which is going to be difficult. So now you start looking at the rest of the lineup, and you wonder if there's offense there. The answer is yes, right down to their fourth line. They've got Tyler Johnson on the fourth line, a guy who is certainly can score. He's at a different stage of his career, but he is skating very well. And there's a rookie on that line by the name of Ross Colton you may not know a lot about, but he's been a heck of a find. 4th round pick. He's up, He can score, and that line with Pat Maroon has been effective. The third line can score with Yanni Gourde, Goodrow, Coleman. And then, of course, there's the second line with Cirelli, Stamkos, and Alex Killorn has been excellent. He's got 8 goals, and he's been very, very good night in, night out. So they could use a little bit more goals from their defense. They only have 3. Luke Schenn, Jan Ruda, and 1 from Hedman, so they could use more there. The goaltending, I think, is going to be a wash. I don't think either one of these goaltenders are going to lose games. They're both going to be very good because they are. Special teams are going to play a key, and this is a very, very interesting matchup because the Lightning had a power play that was clicking at about 40% going into the last round, a little quieter against the Islanders, and now you're going up against this Habs PK, which has been unbelievable. They have not allowed a power play goal since round 1. I mean, they went 8 for 8 against the Jets, 15 for 15 against the Vegas Golden Knights. So finding a way to solve that is going to be a huge key for the Lightning.
I think that you are bang on all of it, and I think the goaltending is a wash. They're not going to make a flub like my boy, the Flower, last round. Ashi Minhas is watching on YouTube, and she says, great to see you, Dave. Go Habs. Go all day. So she's happy to see you, not cheering for your team. Rambo, okay. You're the best. And are you talking to your CFL peeps at all? I saw you were on a show here last week in Canada, and we're talking about the CFL.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. Honestly, I am really looking forward to. By the time the season kicks off, I'm going home once the playoffs wrap up here. I'll go back to Toronto, back up my house, and then I'll be back down here. And I can't wait to have a Friday night football viewing party in my backyard with my barbecue. And trust me, that's going to happen. And I keep touch with a lot of my CFL on TSN brethren. In fact, one of their former directors is a house guest of mine right now. So the guy directed many Grey Cups, Paul Hemming. So he flew down for games 1 and 2. So we can't wait to see them kick things off. And I was glad to hear the premier in Saskatchewan saying he can't wait to see a full house when the Riders kick things off.
He did, 33,000. Hey, please say hey to Paul for me. And can I just, before you go, what was it like interviewing Tom Hanks? I still have that on PVR. I think everybody in Saskatchewan still has it on PVR. That would be a pretty big moment for me. What was it like for you?
Well,
you said that was a selfie story, right? You told that story. You went to
I think I told that selfie story. Yeah, the selfie gone wrong. I didn't actually get to interview Tom Hanks. That was Brian Williams. I was sitting in the seat where Brian Williams had to be, and I had to get out of the seat. So I tried to take a selfie with Tom Hanks as I'm like, arm in arm with him. And my phone, I was fumbling with my phone, and I had this awkward, arm in arm grip with one of the biggest, most famous people on the face of the earth. And he finally looks at me and goes, we're like face to face with Tom Hanks. And he finally goes, let's do this later. I said, okay, let's do it. It was so bad. It was my embarrassing moments. Yes.
We all have those, but what was it like being around him? That had to be cool.
It was so cool, and it was in Regina at that Grey Cup. And what I noticed about it, and what I'll always remember about it, is I've been around, moments where some celebrity walks in the room to do an appearance on whatever show that we're doing, and they walk in with handlers. There's people around, and don't talk to him, and he's only here for 2 minutes, and he or she, and this person may not have a fraction of the star power that Tom Hanks does. Tom Hanks rolls into our set, just him and Marty Short. They're having a good time. They're high-fiving everybody. He's glad-handing with the fans who are right behind me, and he's just enjoying it, and he's not big-timing anybody. And right up until the point when he walked, he said goodbye to everybody. That's what I remember about that moment. He was an awesome guy.
Well, I had a moment like that with you, 2013 Grey Cup, interviewing you at the coaches' news conference. I dropped my tape recorder on the ground. I'm like, no! I don't know if you remember that or not. But anyways.
I do, but I'm not nearly as famous as Tom Hanks. So
I don't know, man. Hey, again, thanks for the time, Rambo. Good luck. Enjoy the series. And for you guys' sake, I hope you win it.
Hey, and for your sake, I'm glad the football is back on. I know it's important, and I'm going to be watching down here. And thanks for having me on. Nice to see everybody. Rambo.
The great Dave Randorf joining us, the television voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He takes the broadcast to here. I'm telling you, watch him all the time, and he fits right in.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.